Hello and aloha pa once again in the same day, which is time right now 11:42 and it's 17th of April. Just about a couple hours ago I spoke about some of the events that happened in Canada during 1984 and 1992 that I was in Northern Ontario and part of it in Southern Ontario. We're on the way to Toronto's coming back with Lisa, and I just came with stuff in my head. I asked her to write some notes. She did, and I decided to deliver another explanation and topic about what the result and consequence of what happened. What's the moral of all that? Naturally, when you spend a lot of money like I did, 1 year maybe cost me about $50,000 in that Northern Ontario, 1 year out of work, spending the money on all that. My wife was totally going crazy and she thought that I'm going to be spending all the money. She took all the money out of the bank account that we had on her own and just sent it somewhere else so I don't touch it. Because she said, you're just going to spend everything and we will not have anything left at us. She made a mistake, she did it, and she never got the money back actually. And I explained about that later on. So, but the connection with baha'u'llah was very strong. I remember the house that we had in Embassy Court was on sale for 140 something, the guy couldn't sell it. And I said, no, the reason that this house is not sold because not 145, I made it to 153. I remember Dave was with me those days in Pickle Lake, and I said it will sell. I said the situation is dire because we will not have no money. I said don't worry, Abdul Wise out there. You have to, I mean not you have to, but once you teach, you develop those connections, and I knew God is going to take care of it. She was scared for nothing. Sure enough, we were there. The house sold in a few days after, and I received the fax that the house sold more than original we were talking about. So, but the headache that comes out of this is really hard, on the individuals involved. Like a business we start this, we try to teach, and we are running into this type of people that totally. So I summed it up in one phrase. I call it achievement deficit disorder. That is the cause of the problem. Because there are people that they do not personally do anything, or they're lopsided. They read a lot of books, but they don't teach, they don't practice it. They become, they feel everybody owes it to them, but they haven't achieved anything. Or in other area, because they have gained a lot of money, they've got for you PhDs in different fields. Now they come into the Baha'i faith, they see that they don't know much, or they haven't taught anybody. They want to seek for some kind of a superiority. And often we become victim and we elect these people and they go up on the top and they like to see who has any power, which is the teachers in this case, and they just go right over the top of his head and they try to control him because from his control they gain power. They feel they're powerful, that they can control our boss. What a mistake, So what is the solution to this? Is that at this time, Shoghi Effendi says the member of the assembly, his guideline is, they have to be, he says, healthy, they have to be active, and they have to be good believer, whatever, like sincere believer. Faithful, that's what it is, the word you use. Faithful, active, and I'm just going to tell you today, right now, that, in my opinion, all of that sums up in one thing. Are they involved in teaching or not? If we Baha'is, you hear this right now, when I die, and then you felt sorry for me, do not, for God's sake, for heaven's sake, for the sake of me and like me that suffered, do not elect anybody who is not involved in teachings. If the people are involved in teaching and teaching people and they brought people into Baha'i faith, those guys, they never cause problem for anybody. They have a lot of understanding. because they have gained a spiritual quality. They are tolerant, they are quick to understand where you're coming from. And then they deal with the teacher very well and others as well. Because Abdullah says right now the teaching of assemblies are main priorities to teach. There is no other administration required. This administration right now, in its provisional phase that we have right now, is to manage the power to teachers, to facilitate them with money, with power, with plan, what they think should be done. And the executives are the teachers. The teachers are in the front row of the Baha'is. Abdul Baha says that, who is the king with? With his soldiers, with those who defend the country. Baha'u'llah, he says, is with the teachers. So a Baha'i teacher is active, he is faithful, he is healthy. This healthy that Shoghi Effendi is bringing up, people, they think that, okay, the handicap cannot be there, or he does not mean that at all. It's not about physical activity alone. When he says healthy, he means good mental health. Okay? The person should not be sick mentally as well. Not just physical, but the guy like Rick Hansen. If he was a Baha'i, I would have voted for him every day. He's on a wheelchair, but look at his power. So, understand this. There are phrases that you have to rephrase them. That's what it is. I'm going to be discussing about that right now. So, but if you're in an area of the assembly, there's an assembly there, and you have to teach naturally. And the Baha'is, when they want to become Baha'i, well, they have to go through the local assembly and the national and international, the Universal Laws of Justice. That's the only channel that's recognized by Baha'u'llah, no other channel. So, what do you do if you had a meeting with one of these achievement deficit disorder sick people that they're disguising themselves as a Baha'i? I mean, they are Baha'i. Baha'u'llah says all of you are one thing. Sure, but part of my body is a lot of sick cells in there that has to be surgically removed, but they're a part of the humanity. So they are becoming as a part of the Baha'i faith, and they come inside and they create problem for it. What do you do? There's two ways. Well, one is I told you that. You have to essentially elect the Baha'i teachers to prevent the problem. But if the opportunity was not there and you were alone, this is what you do. You teach the Baha'is, if they want to sign the card, let them sign, let them join. Do not come in contact with assistant to the board member, with the board member, with the counselor, with the member of the local assembly, with none of these people that they are in the authority. Do not come in contact with them. They call you, just say, I'm busy, I'm sorry, I can't come here, I can't come there. Whatever way you can. Do not be baffled by their award to call you big or to call you small. Just tell them I'm just doing my duty for the sake of Baha'u'llah. The rest of it is up to you, okay? But do not cut your relationship with your people that you taught them, because they come back at you to ask questions, tell them. And if they're asking that, why is it like that? Be brave, tell them. The Baha'i faith is not completed. There's another part of it which is called Universal House of Guardianship. It would have to come fairly soon. Baha'i, they'll understand it later on. All of it, I'm sure of it. And once that comes into power, everything is fine, These type of Baha'is that are in there, they date right to the date of Baha'u'llah. They can't create problem. The first Baha'i ever that was became Baha'i is Mirza Aghajan Kashani. This fellow must have written 50% of the Baha'u'llah's word. Baha'u'llah would tell him to answer to the people. He would answer it in his own language. Then he would come and read the answer for Baha'u'llah, and Baha'u'llah made necessary changes, and then it would be signed with his signature. His signature is Khadim Allah, which means servant of God. This individual, how close you can get to Baha'u'llah? First Baha'i in the world, secretary of Baha'u'llah, but he wasn't very active, I guess, because there are some Baha'is, they come from a long distances to see Baha'u'llah. Imagine, many moons they walked. They come to see Baha'u'llah in prison. They go to him. He says Baha'u'llah is busy or he's tired, he's just sleeping or something like this. Oh my God. When Baha'u'llah heard this, he says, you are not a spokesman on my behalf. You are not to decide about what's right, what's wrong. You had to come and consult with me first. See what's the order. But you took the matter in your own hand, didn't you? Can you imagine Baha'u'llah, how kind he is? He told him one more time, I'm going to have to send you away. Because you don't know how much you hurt these two souls. You don't know, Mr. Awajanakashan. You don't know. I am the manifestation of God and I know. Do not, be careful. When you're talking to another Baha'i, he is of me talking to you. Be very careful. Even non-Baha'is. Never mind, especially Baha'is. Of the sort that they done so much. Oh my God, if you hurt them, you have hurt me. He says so badly. The fellow didn't get this very right, eh? He did it one more time. Baha'u'llah excommunicated him. Yep. Baha'u'llah excommunicated him. For his own sake. Because he would commit these mistakes more and more. He would go really to hell. Baha'u'llah told him that you're relieved. Go. Abdul Baha, the son of Baha'u'llah, at the time of death, Baha'u'llah was bedridden, dying. He says, Father, forgive him. Baha'u'llah said no. Twice Abdul Baha asked. Baha'u'llah said no. Can you believe that? He put Abdul Baha down. Baha'u'llah said no. The matter was so big, he had a red beard, short man. Abdul Baha knew this guy, so much service in the faith of God. So Baha'u'llah passed away, Abdul Baha comes in power, and he said, no one is allowed to talk behind Mirza Janakashi. No one. Don't call him covenant breaker, nothing. Just don't talk about him, bad. No, period. I was always keeping him in himself. Again, this guy did something else. Somewhere else, he went, I don't know what he did. He went to the covenant breaker, to other brother of Baha'u'llah, that was against Abdul Baha, and did a lot of things. Then it was clear that